Hey, bro. Cool. So, hopefully this recording is half decent. So I just thought I'll show you everything that you need to know, and hopefully then you can use this video to help you out. So, obviously you can use this for the 747 and obviously any other two engine aircraft. So I just thought I'd show you the 777 because it's easier. And by the way, look how beautiful this aircraft is. Austrian. Anyway, cool. So, obviously your standard stuff with the HOTAS. So if I show you Fsuipc, right, cool. So, the first thing you want to do is go to axis, not axis, where is it? Joystick calibration. Um, Now, there's the easiest way to do this is you can do it through this, which is okay, I guess. But the way that I do it is through axis assignment here. So I click on axis assignment, then you move whichever axis that you're trying to do. So in this case, let me try and get my webcam up again, like I did in the video. Cool, there we are. This is going to be the jankiest video you've ever watched, but obviously each axis is its own. So this left throttle. So if I push that up a little bit, you'll see that it recognizes that now, and you can see automatically on the screen it comes up as throttle 1. So it'll automatically come up with okay, let me clear that actually. So let me clear that, and then we'll move it again. So now you can see it recognizes the button. It says up here Joy 0R whatever, so it recognizes that as a button. But now it recognizes there, you can see the numbers moving up and down. So that's right at the bottom, this is right at the top. So now we need to assign this to do something in the sim. So the way to do that is send direct to Fsuipc calibration. You use that. You tick the box, so then you're basically choosing what you want this to be. So the left one, we know you want it to be throttle 1. So if you go to, I think default, it sets as this. And on there, you're not going to find anything. And on that, again, these are not what we want. We want direct calibration. So you click on that, and then obviously it'll give you the list of throttles. So you can just set this just throttle alone, and it'll do every single throttle it can find. But obviously, if you want to do it, each engine for each lever, then you're going to do throttle 1. And for example, if it's a 747, then you want this left one to be throttle 1 and 2, and then you want this right hand one to be throttle 3 and 4. If you're flying the 747, for example, and hopefully the A380 in the future. So that's now throttle 1. If I remove it and we just press clear, press OK, now you'll see that when I push both up, only the right hand side one works and the left one has disappeared. So then if you follow what I've just done, then so you go to Fsuipc, go to axis assignment, and then now it wants you to move something, so we move that. There we are. So it's recognized that now as the one that I want to change. Sorry for the wobbly camera, man. Send direct to Fsuipc, that's all you need. Tick. Throttle 1, make sure throttle 1. Press OK. And now, if you watch, it'll move. And it'll move with this. And then again, it's exactly the same for throttle 2. That's what you want to do. So that's the throttle. I will come back to the throttle in a minute. So now we want to do the joystick. So joystick calibration. Again, this is what you could use, but I just go to axis because it's an axis we're playing with. So let me move the camera to the joystick. So now if I push forward, let me move this a bit more, it's easier for me. So if I push forward, obviously, let me show you. So obviously down and back is going to be elevator. So obviously it's not going to look as great on the thing for you, but forward and back, that's going to be elevator. And it's going to be exactly the same. So we want to do send direct to Fsuipc calibration. And then again, look, you can still see throttle 1, throttle 2, throttle 3, throttle 4. This time you want it to be elevator, not elevator trim. Obviously, that's common sense. You know that. So that's going to do it. So now if I take that off, press OK. Now when I pull back, nothing's going to happen. It's just going to recognize my left and right because I've got that set to my aileron. So again, if we go to Fsuipc now, axis assignment, and I go left and right, for example, left, there we are, right, you can see it recognizes it on the numbers and it's got aileron. And then now if I go to rescan, the rescan is basically now it's going to remove the left and right I just done and look for something else. So forward and back. So obviously you can see nothing is populated, and obviously we want to click on that and populate this now with elevator. So press OK. Now we've got full forward, full back, left, right. On you go. Same with the rudder pedals, and exactly the same with rudder pedals. So I'm not going to show you the rudder pedals because my webcam's not going to reach, but if you go to access assignment and I move the rudder pedal left, for example, sorry, did that wrong. Rudder, there we are. I did that left and right. You can see that's neutral, left, and then right. That's going to be rudder, and again it's exactly the same. Send direct to Fsuipc calibration. That'll fix that for you. And what else do we have? So those are your axes. So you've got forward, back, left, right, and then you've got the throttle quadrant up and down. I'll show you another one. Rescan. If I go back over here, this is what I use for my speed brake. This little one here. You can see sport. Oh shit! Sorry. So I'll show you in the sim. So up, and if you go all the way, it's full speed brake. All the way back is zero speed brake. Again, full forward, full speed brake. In the middle, half speed brake, and again it works perfectly in the air, but you've got obviously zero, half, full. So the way to do that is again Fsuipc, access assignment, move that just so it recognizes this is the one you want to play with, and then you're going to do send to Fsuipc for calibration, click spoilers, and then off you go. And that's that then. So that's how you do those. And then buttons is slightly different. So rescan that again off that. And now you want to go to buttons and switches. So you know if you want to have toga, parking brake, gear up, stuff like that. So the way that I do it, and again it'll be in the profile that I send you in a minute. So we're going to have the button you want to press. So for example, this button here, this big button here is my gear toggle. So if I press that now. So here I pressed. What did I press it? Is that my gear button? Can't remember now. It should be. Rep. Let me. I'm sure that's my gear button right there. Okay, maybe not. What the hell is my gear button then? Okay, whatever. So okay, I'll set that now. There we are. This is perfect. It means I can show you. So we press that, press the button, so now it's recognized that as button 25. Let me turn the webcam off for now. So button 25, and then what we want to do is you want to select it for so flight simulator control. So you click that, that's going to open up this bit now. So what's going to happen when you press the button? Well, it's going to, if you go down here, it's going to be gear toggle, because you want to press it and it's going to move the button down. Or if the gear's down, then when you press it, it's going to put the gear up, and then when you press it again, it's going to toggle the gear down. Does that make sense? Oh, hopefully it does. If not, let me know. So press OK. So now when I press it, it'll toggle it to the opposite. So the moment, obviously, we're on gear down. So if I press it now, obviously on the ground, it's not going to work now, but you can see it's trying to move up to up. And then once the gear's up, of course, when you're coming into land, you press the same button again, and it would obviously go gear down. And if you're in the 747, again, depending, then it'll probably put it into the off position, so you'd have to press it twice. So that's how you do simple buttons. And then another one, of course, is my parking brake and my toga. So axis assignment is not what we need buttons and switches. So if I turn the webcam back on, there we are. This is what I use for toga, and the reason that I use this button here for toga is when I'm, pulling on the throttles, I can then just click that, so this one here, and I pull it back. Of course, you've got this, you've got forward as well, but I use pull back towards me for toga. So you can see here now on the screen that we've got select for FS control, because it's already automatically recognized that FS control, and then you just scroll down to auto throttle toga, TOGA. And that's it then. You don't want to mess with anything else, and then you press OK. And then of course when I go into my sim, if the auto throttle's on, which it is, if I now press this, It should. But you can hear it. You can hear it. Obviously, it's not going to do it now because, well, for whatever reason, I can't. I don't even know. But obviously, once you've got auto throttle, LNAV, VNAV, all that good stuff, and you set up in the wrong way, you'd increase the throttles like that, and then obviously click that. It'll go to toga. Oh shit, we're moving. So obviously there we are. So that red button you saw was my parking brake. So it's just the same button. I don't use that side or anything. I just use this one towards me. It's the same thing again. You're just toggling on and off. If I move the camera, there we are. Obviously zoom towards the parking brake. So you can see once I press this, parking brake off. Again, parking brake on. On. You can do that all day. And the way that you do that is exactly the same. You use the same principle. Axis assignment, not axis, buttons and switches. Press the button you want. Press that. There we are. And then you can see it just goes parking brake. So that's that. Simple buttons. The way that I do trim, this is slightly different. Same principle, but slightly different. Let me move this towards. So my trim is this here. The lighting is terrible. So down, up, down, up. So the way that I do that, if I go to cancel. So if I go to buttons and switches, this is slightly different. So when you're obviously putting it up, you want down. Yeah, so you're trimming down. So you're obviously pushing the aircraft, down, nose down. So elevator trim down. So again, FS control, elevator trim down. Now, what you want to happen is you want to click control to repeat while held, because of course, you know, if you hold on to it without having this button ticked, it's only going to give you one notch of elevator trim down, whereas, you know, obviously if you're holding it, you want it to continuously cycle the trim. So that's why you have control to repeat while held selected, and that's it then. So then I'll see if I show you in my sim, if you look at my trim tab, if I go forward, you can see, if I pull down, you can see, and then if I show you the example of this not having that ticked, you'll see now when I hold it, it only does one. Like I have to physically keep pressing it to move the trim. If I hold on to it like I am now, it only registers one notch of trim. And obviously now you can see if I hold on to it, it's holding on to it in the aircraft, which is what you want, to be as realistic as possible. So that's that. Trying to think of anything else that might be handy for you. Yeah, flaps is another one actually. And again, I'm sorry I'm going on a bit now. It's been a 12-minute video already, sorry. Flaps, my camera's not going to reach. I just moved the throttle cord another way. Obviously you've got a dedicated flap switch here. Down, up. Again, buttons and switches, it will be obviously flaps up. You want it to be flaps decrease. And then obviously when you go in flaps down, you want it to be flaps increase, and that's all it is. It's just flaps increase and flaps decrease. So that's what I use for those. So if I'm going like flaps up, for example, then I just go up, 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 up. So obviously you bring it back to the middle first. Up, 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 and then obviously down, down. So if you should do that in the sim, shit. We're going toga here. Right, so back to the flaps notch, I would be going down. And it's obviously because I've left the lever down, doesn't mean the flaps are going to keep going down. So you move it back to the middle, flaps down, and then you just keep bringing them down like that. And obviously it's quite annoying sometimes, but whatever. That's how you do it. That, as far as I can think of, is everything. It's been quite a long video, but I hope that helps, bro. If you need anything else, obviously give me a shout, you know where I am. And I'll send you the Fsuipc profile, and that should pretty much do exactly what I've got, but you can mess around with the buttons then to suit you, so then you can start playing around with, you know, if you want these buttons to do stuff. I don't use these, but if you want those buttons to do things, then you can. So good luck, man, and I'll catch up with you soon.